The folks here in Florida definitely used to this. Rain in the forecast as we join you from Everbank Stadium here in the city of Jacksonville. Two teams here that came into the NFL together back in 1995, and off we go between the Jags and the Panthers. And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Lawrence going to put it up right away. That's complete to the rookie from Colorado. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. Lawrence. Got a man. It's De'Ami Brown, complete. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They'll run for the first time with Travis Etienne. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
On 2nd down, Etienne once more. That's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. Throw out wide is incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
2nd and 10. Straight ahead, Etienne. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
From the shotgun, Lawrence. Dancing to his left. Great vision there by Lawrence as he scrambles for a first down.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
On play action, Lawrence. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. DJ Wanham got off his spot quickly and got to the quarterback. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Etienne up the middle. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
A tough spot here. 3rd and 15. Now Lawrence. And this one caught by Hunter over the middle. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
And his kick is indeed good, and the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now here's Young. A short throw hauled in by Trimble. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Now Young. And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line. That is Josh Hines-Allen working his way in for the sack. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. Now make that a second sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Very good starting field position for the Jaguars offense as they come up first and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. Here's Lawrence to throw. Open man, this is Brenton Strange, the tight end. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. They go play action now. Lawrence throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Now it's second and 10. Running out of the gun with ETN. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's 2nd down. That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it and got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
ETN on the toss right. And he'll take this one down near the 15. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Jaguars are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Oh, the motion comes too late, and this is going to be a delay. So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for 1st and goal. A shotgun snap and a give to ETN. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Lawrence hit and the ball is free. And it's picked up by the Panthers. Young now after the fumble recovery. There's a short throw caught by Sanders. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. A quick 1st down pickup. Good start after going 3 and out on their opening drive.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
And the ball moved up here now to 2nd and 7 following the penalty. Here's Young from the shotgun. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Anytime they think they've got him open beyond the markers, you know they're going to throw it his way. And that's not going to change even after that incompletion was forced.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Here is Young. There's a short throw caught by Sanders. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. 3-0 after one on EA Sports. Panther football to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Young to throw it. Over the middle, complete into the hands of Trimble. So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end. At least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense.
Now 2nd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Young. A short throw hauled in by Trimble. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
To the air once more, Young. And his throw is incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his 1st drop, his 2nd drop of the game. First carry for the Oklahoma State man, Chuba Hubbard. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Young to throw it. And that is incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Here's the Panthers punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want. But on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
Looking to throw, Lawrence. Over the middle, complete. That's Brown. 3rd catch of this 1st half for him, and this one is a 1st down. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Here's a give to Etienne. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. They go play action with Lawrence. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Touchdown, Jaguars. Brian Thomas, 62 yards. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Panthers now set to take over offensively. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense. I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Young. They'll run the screen with Hubbard. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
3rd down and 1. Young now. He's got his target. That's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Defense was thinking run, and they're dealt a pass of just under 20 yards.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Young. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. 1st down. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh, my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
They'll try to throw now. Young. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Tommy Trimble from 6 yards away. And the Panthers have cut it back within a score.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so, because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On second down, Etienne once more, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4, now third down.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least it'll be fourth down.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Now Young. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
And maybe that touchdown on the previous drive has re-energized this offense a little bit. They've been kind of sluggish until then, but they're showing signs of life here, and they get good yardage that time and a first down.
And they'll run on first down with Hubbard. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
2nd down and 8. Right back to Hubbard. And he is going to lose yardage here. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And here's Young. This might be a free play. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Last penalty, making this 3rd down much more manageable. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Throwing, Young. They'll set up the screen here for Hubbard. And it's not going to be enough here. A gain of 4, about 2 feet short of the marker. 4th down.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, you know those pass rushers, they're in the starter's block. They're just waiting for the pistol to fire. You can almost hear the defensive coaches on the sideline pre-snap. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Really good job there of identifying it and making the play to force 4th down.
They'll run for it. It's Hubbard. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. Young will set to throw. This is caught by McMillan. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Out of the gun, it's Young. Open man left side, it's the tight end Trimble. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's second down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. To throw, Young. Throw left side, complete. That's Hubbard. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
He'll find McMillan here. And he is going to have a Panthers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Oh, Young loses it. And this ball recovered by the offense. But remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Young working out of the gun. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Now here's Young. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their 1st timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Now here's the Panthers special teams unit to try a field goal for 3. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will knot us up at 10. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Jaguars ready to go on offense for the final time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now Lawrence. Thomas has got it. Complete. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And with great starting field position and 1 timeout in their pocket, they could still come away with points here in the late going. This 2nd and 4. Now Lawrence to throw. Got his man. It's the tight end Strange with it. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Now Lawrence. Going up top. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing again here. It's Lawrence. The throw out wide going to be incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, it's Lawrence. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Final play of the half. It's Lawrence. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have reached halftime here in a good one. 10-10 is our score. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. Now the Panthers going to take over here to start quarter number 3. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
A short throw hauled in by Trimble.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Here's Young from the shotgun. That one complete to Ligon. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
The slot man in motion right. Now Young. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
A short throw hauled in by Trimble. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and that's going to bring up second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 2nd and 10. We're all knotted up at 10, but it appears that may change soon. Only question is, will they have to settle for 3? There's a short throw caught by Sanders. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. And they'll send the tight end in motion. On play action, Young. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he is going to have a Panthers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Trayvon Walker makes the tackle. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
2nd down, another chance for Hubbard. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
From the shotgun, it's Young. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Panthers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, he does have 1 touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him 1st and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a 2nd time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play. Young now. This is caught. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. Hubbard will take this one in. Touchdown, Carolina. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front. Offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 17-10 score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
43 yards rushing for him now to this point.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything, change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
That is caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great effort there. 70 yards. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Carolina offense about ready to go. And these two teams have traded touchdowns so far with their first possessions here in the third quarter, so we're right back to where we started at intermission.
Yeah, how about that? Tied at the half. Tied after the first two drives of the third quarter, one for each. That tells me that someone's defense has got to step up and make a big play and try and change the momentum of this game.
And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Young to throw it. Got a man. That's Liggett. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Here is Young. They'll run the screen with Hubbard. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10. Young. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Again, it's Young. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
Here's the Panthers punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll start on the ground. Etienne. And he is going to lose yardage here. Former first-rounder Derek Brown living up to the billing on that stop.
That was a good illustration of setting the edge as a defensive end, being able to make sure that you stay on your feet no matter what type of block, and you're not going to get pushed inside. Stayed home, skated to the outside, and made the play.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence, and Thomas has it. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 53 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they had 3 tight ends in on that set.
And these guys are punching really well. I use boxing analogies a lot. A lot of coaches have told me that when you line up to run the football, it's 10 fistfights along the line of scrimmage, right? You've got to win your share. These 3 tight ends, they almost always win their fistfights.
And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here's 2nd and 7. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
2nd and 2 now. The penalty leaves him in pretty good shape. Here's Lawrence to throw. Being chased out left. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game. And that continued with that first down run.
A handoff for Etienne. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Now 2nd and 5. Here's Lawrence. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
On 3rd down, here's Etienne. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. Call it a 4-yard pickup, but it leaves him a few inches short here on 4th down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. And his kick here is good. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Carolina getting set to take the field. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. On first down, they'll start out with Hubbard. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And that's incomplete.
But he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
The Panthers on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, it's Young. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Young to throw it. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
Young's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll toss this right side to Hubbard. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Trayvon Walker able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Now ETN to start the drive. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
From the 31, here's a 2nd and 8. And they'll go again with ETN. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Every penalty so critical at this stage of the game, as now they've got it 3rd and long. Now Lawrence. They'll try and set up the screen to ETN. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Oh, what a move. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Young. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 19 yards that time for number 19.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
A give up the middle, Hubbard. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
So from just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 9. They go play action. Young. He'll get this complete to the running back, Hubbard. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Now a 2nd and 2. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Young working out of the gun. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
The tight end in motion right. 3rd down, Young from the gun. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Panthers 1st down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Straight ahead with Hubbard. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Darnell Savage there to make the tackle.
That run wasn't a big breaker, but I don't think the guys on offense mind very much. They've got a nice drive going, and they might just be luring the defense in a little bit. They could probably come back with a play action, maybe go over the top. But right now, on this drive, their playbook is open.
2nd down, another chance for Hubbard. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Well, this drive, they're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need 7 yards here. And they'll go again here with Hubbard. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
They'll try to throw now. Young. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Out of the gun, here's the give to Hubbard. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're
without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Throwing, Young. Flushed out right, and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Brought to the ground by the linebacker, Foye Oluokun.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that. And this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this 4th quarter. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
ETN once more, and he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning. From the gun, it's Lawrence. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
Well, the defense certainly did its job. They held up in that situation, and now on 4th down, you've got to punt this and try to get to overtime. There's no decision to be made in my estimation.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The possession of the football goes over to Carolina. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. I don't know that those medium 5-ish yard gains are going to do it right now. Probably should have dropped it, right?
Yeah, that way you save more time on the clock. But I know receivers, they think they can catch it and break a tackle and turn it into a big gain.
Now 2nd and 4. Young. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down.
From here on, any score could be the winning one, and he is certainly aware of that. Look at the way he locked in on that marker and made a mad scramble to get to it for the first down.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Here's Young. That caught by Trimble. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Well, the elements, the crowd, the situation, this is NFL football at its best. Here's 3rd down. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. On the give, this is Hubbard. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Here's 2nd down. On the counter, this is Hubbard. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. A big play here. Crowd on their feet. 3rd and 4. They'll run out of the gun. It's Hubbard. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there. Needed 4. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And this one is right through. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So here now, Lawrence and the Jaguars. Down 23-20, 27 seconds to go. They need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing now, Lawrence. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's what it's been like all game long. Everything just a fraction off. Remember, all they're doing here is looking to get into field goal range. But right now, that's a tall task with the way this defense is playing. And with time, a huge factor as well.
Back to throw, Lawrence. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
Probably time for 2 more shots, and ideally, they'd like to get to midfield or so they have a chance at a Hail Mary on the final play.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. Lawrence. And that is incomplete. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They're giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make sure that that frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw coming up.
Here we go. Got to have it. Lawrence. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, this ball game was close throughout. Remember, it was neck and neck at intermission, neck and neck at the end, but a great job to come in here in a tough environment, Charles, and get the victory.
Yeah, tough environment indeed. How about all the people we can hear shouting from their seats right below us, partner? They weren't real happy that their team didn't keep the home field. How about how these visitors came in, calm every step of the way, even with all the pressure, and found a way to get out of here with a win.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we sign off.